Hello, good evening. Thank you so much for joining me for tonight for our full body stretch. We're going to be working through different stretches and holding them, each one for about 30 seconds each to really maintain the flexibility. And then we're going to go into a very nice deep hamstring stretch that we're going to hold for a little bit longer so that we can push that range of flexibility gently that little bit further and get in a fantastic, relaxing, and beneficial stretch. So I've got a band for my hamstring stretch. If you don't have a band, you can use a belt, you can use your hands, you could even use a longer resistance band, one of the long flat ones. That works really well too. But again, if you don't have any equipment, feel free to use your hands and it works perfectly well. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start down on the mat. We're going to face the end of the mat, and we're just going to begin by stacking the vertebra one on top of the other, really lifting up tall through the crown of the head. Chin is parallel with the floor, and we're going to draw the arms up and around without arching the back. So we're going to keep the spine nice and long and straight, and we're just going to round the arms back, drawing really large, exaggerated circles in the air and focusing on the opening of the chest and the lengthening through the fingertips with every circle. Try to envision yourself growing taller. Inhale as you come down, exhale as you come up and around. We've got 3. And to reach a little higher through those fingertips. And last one, circle down and back. Amazing. I'm going to place my hands on my thighs. And now we're just going to work through some neck circles. I'll actually turn and face you so you can see exactly what this looks like. I'm going to look to the right, stretching through the side of the neck. Inhale. And as we exhale, we're just going to circle the chin down across the chest, slowly looking up and over to the left. Deep inhale here, and exhale, circle the chin down and across the chest. Feeling a nice stretch across the back of the neck and then the side of the neck as you come up. Inhale and exhale. Good. Last one. Inhale here and exhale. Nice. And back to center. We're going to look up and down. Up and down. Moving through some really nice exaggerated nods here. Stretching the back of the neck. Stretching the front of the neck for 3 and 2. Keep those shoulders down away from your ears. And last 1. Nicely done. Now I'm going to drop my right hand down to the mat, lift the left arm up and over, and I really want to press down through that left hip. So we don't want to be lifting the left hip up off the heel from our kneeling position. We want to keep it grounded. Keep the chest nice and open. If you need to do a little bit more of a rotation to open up in the chest, please do so. Reach, reach, reach. And come back to center. Bring your right arm up, reaching over to the opposite side, keeping that left hip, sorry, that right hip grounded. Reaching and stretching, opening through the chest. Reach a little further, and then back to center. One more each side. Lengthening through the side body. Nicely done. And back to center. Last one. Reach and lengthen. And back to center. Amazing. From here, we're going to bring both hands down on the floor, and we're going to go into some hip mobility stretches. So we're going to step the right foot between the hands, and then we're going to lift the back knee up off the floor, flexing through the foot. Keeping the right hand in contact with the mat, we're going to lift the left arm, stretching and lengthening gently, bending over to the side, lengthening out through that heel. You can drop the knee down to the mat if that feels more comfortable. Holding for 4, for 3, reach a bit further for 2, and for 1. Lower down. And now we're going to take the feet, the hands to the inside of the right foot. Drop that knee down, that left knee back down to the floor, and then just let the right knee splay out to the side. So you're gently letting that right knee move away from the body, feeling a really deep stretch into that hip on the right side. Hands are down on the mat for support. If you want to flatten out that back foot, if that feels a little bit better, then feel free to do so. Good. Gently sinking a little bit more deeply into the stretch, but not pushing it if you're feeling any pain in that right hip. Holding for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Now we're going to bring the knee back up, interlace the fingers, take them onto the right thigh, and come into a hip flexor stretch here. Gently drawing that left hip forward. Breathing deeply here in through the nose and out through the mouth. And if you're feeling good here and you want to deepen the stretch, you can lift up that left arm and just gently fold to the right side of the body. You'll feel that stretch deepening into that hip flexor. You'll feel the stretch into the side body. Just keep those shoulders down and relaxed. Holding for 5, for 4, for 3, and 2, and 1. Bring both hands down to the mat. Bring both knees down to the floor. Flex both heels coming into plank. And then bring your left foot forward between your hands. From here, we're going to keep the left hand down on the mat and reach the right arm up and over, reaching and stretching, keeping that knee elevated, that back knee elevated if you can, but lowering down to the mat if you need to. Breathing here. Inhaling and exhaling for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Lowering that back knee, bringing both hands to the inside of the left foot, and then letting that left knee splay out to the left side. Sinking into it, flattening that back foot if that feels better. Deeply stretching into the hip on the left side, keeping the spine nice and long here, the shoulders relaxed. Breathing into any points of tension and tightness. Nice work. Inhaling and exhaling with control for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Bringing the knee back to center, interlacing the fingers, taking the palms on the left knee, and just sinking into that hip flexor stretch, gently pushing that right hip flexor forward. Melting the shoulders down away from the ears and really sink into this stretch. If you want to deepen it, raise your right arm and just fold over to the opposite side of the body, feeling that stretch run all the way up through the hip flexor, all the way up through the side body. Reach a bit further for 4 and 3, last 2 and 1. Lower both hands to the floor, bring both knees down to the mat. Take the knees nice and wide and sink back into child's pose. Stretching and elongating through the arms. Stretching and elongating through the spine. lengthening out through that tailbone. From here, we're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to come forward, lowering the hips down onto the mat, either coming up part way into your cobra stretch or coming all the way up, stretching and lengthening through those abdominals. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Melting the shoulders down and back. Lifting up onto those palms if you can, getting a nice deep stretch. And then sinking back into child's pose. Bringing the big toes together. Deep inhale here. And exhale, repeat. Coming forward. Lowering down gently with control. Straightening out those legs. And lifting. Breathing deeply. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently lower all the way down to the mat. If you're using a band, I'd like you to take hold of it. We're going to relax the spine down on the floor, relax the back of the head, and draw the right knee in toward the chest. Left leg can stay bent. From here, we're going to walk our hands up the leg and stretch that hamstring by pulling the shin in toward the chest. Good. Bend. Inhale. And extend. Warming up the back of the leg for that deep stretch. Bend. And extend. Drawing the leg a little bit closer in toward the chest. And then releasing. If you're using the band, place it on the bottom of the foot. And really flex the foot here as much as feels comfortable so that you can feel the stretch in the calf as well as in the hamstring. Keep that leg as straight as possible, so even if you're further down, that's perfectly fine. Find that point of resistance where you're really pushing your range of flexibility, but never to the point of pain. Taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, I want you to draw that leg in a little bit closer in towards your chest, deepening that stretch. Challenge yourself by trying to connect your tailbone with the mat here as well, so you're feeling the stretch into your lower back as well. Deep inhale. And exhale, draw that leg in a little bit closer towards you. Breathing deeply. Keep holding. Keep that leg nice and straight. No bouncing. It's a static stretch, protecting our joints. Deep inhale. And final push here. We're going to draw the leg that little bit closer in toward the chest as we breathe out. Working that range of flexibility. Holding for 5, for 4, for 3, and 2, and 1. Gently bend the knee, release the band, bend the knee, and then bring opposite leg in toward the chest. Hug that knee in, lengthen through the spine, set your shoulders down away from your ears, and then draw that leg up, walking your hands up a little bit higher if you can, and then bending. Inhale, and exhale. As we breathe out, we're deep in that stretch. Last one, inhale, and exhale. Hug that leg in a little closer toward the chest. And now bend the leg, place the band under the foot, and draw that leg in. Flexing the foot so we feel the stretch into the hamstring as well. Melting shoulders down away from the ears, lengthening out through that tailbone as we stretch the back of the leg. Breathing in through the nose. And as we exhale, we're deepening the stretch that little bit more, drawing the leg that little bit closer in towards you. Holding and lengthening, breathing into those areas of tightness. Warming up that muscle, inhale. And as we exhale, we're bringing the leg that little bit closer in, warming up that flexibility. Good, keep breathing. Last increase of the stretch, we're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're drawing that leg as close as we can in toward the chest, keeping it nice and straight here, lengthening through that heel for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. I'd like you to bend the leg, release the band, walk your hands up. Bring the hands out behind you. They can be slightly splayed open to the side if that feels good. Deep inhale here, rounding the spine. And exhale, arching the spine, lifting and lengthening. Inhale, round. And exhale, push up through the heels of the hands, opening the chest, extending the spine for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Nicely done. You can come into a cross-legged position. Lift your shoulders up by your ears. Inhale and exhale, melt them down and back. I hope you enjoyed that stretch. I know I did. My hips feel nice and open now. My spine feels elongated. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to hopefully stretching again with you next week. Have a lovely evening. Bye.